our second look here, our second on, let's see, this is going to be on norms. Okay, norms.
What we're going to do now is set up our team norms, beginning first with how we make decisions. We have a few options, I just want to name them. So we're going to make this decision by consensus, meaning all of us need to agree on what we decide to vote on. We can go majority rules, which means because we're a group of 6, if most of us are in agreement, then that'll be what we vote in. How do we want to make decisions together?
I think majority rules.
Anita, I hear you, and at the same time, what do we do if somebody's really opposed to what the majority is deciding? How do we make sure we hear what they're saying?
Yeah. Sometimes consensus can be very difficult, so I don't know. Majority might be.
I wonder if there's a way for us to do both. So maybe we say that our priority preference is that we are racing towards consensus, and that's the ideal. But in instances where there's true dissent, right? There's some voices that really have a strong opinion. We use the majority rules in those cases.
So let me reflect back what I think I'm hearing is we could strive for consensus, and if maybe we have a time-bound amount of time within which to have that discussion, and if we have that discussion for that amount of time and still can't agree, we take it to majority rules. How does that sound?
Great, that sounds good. I'm on board.
All right. So let's get some snaps. We've just decided how we decide. All right. So we've just gotten to the next section. This is about our norm correction. So essentially, it should be playful, maybe even slightly embarrassing. But why is this important? Why does it matter? We've just agreed to commit and respect each other in particular ways. So what happens if a norm is broken and we never acknowledge it? For example, if one of our team members, we've just acknowledged we want to start and end on time, but a team member comes to the meeting 15 minutes late and no one says anything. What just happened?
It becomes like the new norm. It just doesn't matter what rules you've set at all.
Yeah, I think that's right. So we want to be sure that we're lifting up our norms and just honoring that commitment to one another. A few examples that I've heard in the past are for someone to come in and do a yoga pose / love bomb. So they'll do a yoga pose and compliment sincerely 2 to 3 members of the team.
That's cool.
Another one is to do a full body dance for 15 seconds while producing your own music. Contributes into the dancing, all right? That's awesome. That's
See, guys, I like this. I just I don't know, I worry that we're embarrassing each other. Do we really need this? I think I know you guys well. We're gonna hold our commitments up.
Yeah. Okay, I appreciate what you're saying because it's grounded in a place of really trusting the rest of the team, which is a good point. But I'm wondering why do others think that it might be valuable to have a way to just acknowledge whether a norm was broken and just name it when we're as part of the team? Does anybody have any thoughts on that?
I think that, having norm correction is not so much about spotlighting the error, but more so honoring the commitment of everyone's time that they're investing into what we're doing together.
Yeah.
And it's just a way for that person not to come in feeling like they're bringing the team down, but saying, hey, we're all building each other up.
I guess it's something, if we phrase it like that, it's something I could live with.
Okay, that sounds good. Kate, again, I appreciate you raising that.
Okay.
What do folks think would be a fun, engaging, slightly embarrassing, but honoring the commitment norm correction for the team?
Full body dance.
Plus food.
Full body dance plus food. How do you feel about that? Cool, let's clap it up. We have a norm.
Okay, norms and norm corrections, full body dance plus food. There's been a lot of creativity in that area. So what about this? What did you see work here? What did you see as problematic here? I mean, it's just very interesting, this norm thing, because it's one of the things people have the most trouble with. And you sort of say, well, what's really going on here? And I don't know, it seems to me like what's really going on here is whether or not we're really ready to accept responsibility for each other and with each other for how we're going to work together. And so, some people say, oh, public shaming. That's not the point. The point is we have, we all have our better angels and then we have that other part. And it's sort of like we all need to figure out ways to encourage our better angels. And that's the importance of accountability and these kinds of mechanisms. But what else did you see here in this norms exercise? What else worked? What made it work? Would you find it really weird? Humor is really important. It's important all the way through. It's important in organizing. It's important in life. I mean, because how do you keep yourself in perspective and everybody in perspective? There's actually some organization theorists that teach about what they call the technology of foolishness. They've studied strategy teams and found the ones that have humor are more creative and more effective strategists, because you're able to kind of get outside the box, keep it in perspective, and it keeps the spirit alive. That's so important for creative work, and organizing is creative work. What else? What else? What else on norms? You ready to go out and form norms in your groups? Yeah, I'd love to see that. No, seriously. We do this in all our classes, we do it in all our sections, and at first there's all this questioning, but boy, once you ease into it, then you know you can rely on others to have your back, you have their back. Now we got a deal. We're a team, we're working together.